What's up, people? Welcome again to Pitch Points. And today I have a couple of things I want to share with you and talk about for this week. We'll talk about the Champions League game, the second day of the first round of 16 leg with Tottenham and Dortmund, Ajax and Real Madrid. And we'll talk about Europa League as well. We will have two games in Europa League we want to talk about as well. That we'll preview next week, which is a massive week. You have Lyon versus Barcelona, you have Man City, Schalke, you have Liverpool, Bayern Munich, and then Atletico versus Juventus. That's a packed, super special week. And then we'll touch about some of the FA Cups in general. But first of all, I mean, that Tottenham versus Dortmund game was amazing. It's amazing how much hype there was around Dortmund coming into the Champions League game and how they're going to kill Tottenham and how Jadon Sancho is the best since Pele and how Pulisic was going to do wow and do wonders. And for the first 45 minutes, I mean, Dortmund were really pressing Tottenham. Dortmund had a 4-2-3-1 formation, so two holding midfielders, three in the middle and one up top. And with the back four, now granted, they were missing a couple of key defenders. They are missing Julian Weigl, they were missing up front Paco Alcácer, and they were missing one or two other key members of the team. But in the first half, they tried. They really pressed Tottenham through the wings, really pressed them. Tottenham were playing a 3-5-2 formation, three in the back, five in the midfield, and then two up front with two wing backs of Vertonghen and I can't remember the other guy's name. But they really tried. So the first half, Dortmund pressed and it came out nil-nil. The second half, I mean, Tottenham completely changed the game. And what did they really do? Pretty simple. Poch basically told Tottenham to play about 10 to 15 yards higher up the field. Press higher up the field. They use the fullbacks, the 3-5-2 formation, the fullbacks, Vertonghen and the other fullback to press high and flog the balls in from the wings. Now remember the first goal that came from the left-hand side, right? That interplay between Vertonghen and one other defender, a midfielder, and they switched the ball all the way across to Son and Mill to score the goal. And also Vertonghen also scored a goal from the left wing back, running in with the ball switched from the right all the way across to score the goal. It was brilliant play. Basically asking the fullback for Tottenham to play high up, stretch Dortmund, and then create spaces in the middle for the penetration. Fantastic by Poch, and really kudos to Tottenham. And that goal by Vertonghen and that celebration, I really liked. I'm not a Tottenham fan, but I really enjoyed that play and what he did. Fantastic game from them. Now, second leg is going to be in Dortmund in about 2 weeks' time. Tottenham should not underestimate Dortmund. They have a ravenous crowd, and they're always up for it, and it's going to be a difficult game. But with 3-0 up in the first leg, it's going to be hard to see how Dortmund come back from that. Dortmund are focused on the Bundesliga title, and they're probably focused on that going forward. So I think Tottenham's going to get through, which is going to make for an interesting round of quarterfinal draw. But kudos to Tottenham, fantastic game. The other game that I watched and I really enjoyed, I was actually struggling between both games, both Tottenham game and this game, was Ajax versus Real Madrid. Now you can see the blueprint of total football by Ajax. I mean, the way they pressed Real Madrid in the first half, the incredible amount of energy breaking up the play, the pressing was significant. If you want to learn how to press and learn how to coach how to press, watch that game. Amazing from Frankie de Jong, from Matthijs de Ligt. I mean, that Frankie de Jong kid that's going to Barcelona is out of this world. He's probably going to be the best defensive midfielder in the world in the next 1 or 2 years. The guy is skillful, technical, strong, fast, and his intersection and his plays are amazing. Really fantastic kid. I'm looking forward to seeing him. The game, of course, had the VAR incident, the VAR incident, where the goal basically was ruled out because of the second phase of the play. Basically, the Ajax midfielder. So what happened was, we know what happened was that the ball came in, the Real Madrid goalkeeper basically spilt the ball into the field of play. The Ajax headed it back, but because an Ajax player was blocking the view of the goalkeeper, the goal was ruled out by VAR, so it didn't stand. And then Real Madrid do what Real Madrid do. They take their chances. Vinicius Jr. on the left side was amazing. That's another kid that's going to grow. So and Benzema given one shot, one goal, and then Marco Asensio. They did the job. So 2-1. Second leg is going to be interesting because if you remember in the group stage, CSKA Moscow beat Real Madrid 3-0 at home. Now that's going to be interesting. But Real Madrid have a way of getting past. They're always good in the knockout stage of the Champions League. We shall see again how that works out. All right. There is one point though. So Sergio Ramos, if you didn't know, actually got booked, got a yellow card. Now that was the second yellow card within the tournament itself, which means that he's supposed to miss the next game. Now, the news has come out, they actually admitted that that was what he was trying to do, was basically to get himself booked so he can miss the second leg, and so that through the whole quarterfinals to the finals, he will not he won't be sent off and miss another game. Well, because he said it now, UEFA is looking into that incident, actually going to give him a 2-match ban. So he's going to miss the next game at home, and then he's going to miss the first leg of the quarterfinal. So, Ramos, you got to watch what you say, bro. You can't just open up your mouth every single time. Sometimes it catches up to you. That was basically that. Next week, as I mentioned, there are a couple of games. There's Lyon versus Barcelona. I'm really, really interested to see what Barcelona is going to do against the Lyon team. This Lyon team is a dangerous team. For teams that like to possess the ball and play out from the back, this is the perfect counter team. They basically can counter. They played Man City, they beat Man City. They played PSG, they beat PSG. They didn't lose a game in the qualifying stages of the Champions League. Didn't lose one game. They're really up for the big games. They're fast, they're tall, they're strong, they're powerful, and they're quick. I think it's going to be a very difficult game for Barcelona, but we shall see. The other game for me is the Liverpool-Bayern Munich. We'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure where that one's going to go, but we'll discuss that at a later point in time. Schalke at Manchester City. Again, City has to be on the point, on game to get past this in the first leg. Blow it out first leg and move on. Then Atletico Juve, you just do not know what's going to happen in that game. But these are all 4 games for next week, and we'll definitely touch upon them during next week's game. In the Europa League, there were basically two major games that really were played. There was the Valencia versus the Celtic game, which I watched. The second goal was absolutely beautiful. Ball came out from the left-hand side, and this guy just lobbed it in, just volleyed the ball into the goal. But the Chelsea game, Chelsea won against Malmo 2-1 away. It was a good win for Chelsea after the recent form that they've had. A goal that basically a win that allows them to get some momentum, some form back. What was interesting in that game for me was the fact that when Sarri took off Jorginho, he actually replaced Jorginho with Kovacic in the holding midfield, which actually kind of worked. Even though Kante was still there playing on the right wing, which kind of works. Maybe there is some variation in his tactics. I still don't know why he won't play Kante in that role, but it's up to him. He's either going to live by that or die by that role. Arsenal. What's going on with Arsenal? To all my Arsenal fans, what the heck is going on with you? I mean, here's a team, Bate Borisov, right? That the total cost of the team is £200,000. The whole team is £200,000. The whole entire team is £200,000. The total amount they've invested over the entire lifespan of the whole club is £11 million. These guys haven't played one game since December. They've been on basically a winter break for the whole of December, January, and half of February. And yet they beat by Arsenal 1-0. What is going on? It's a question that Arsenal fans need to answer. But I suppose when they come back to the Emirates, Arsenal should win, and so should Chelsea. Which kind of begs the question for me. For me, when looking at the Europa League, I think Arsenal or Chelsea have to battle it out for that 4th spot in the Europa League. Because it's going to be tough for them to basically really get to the top 4 position within the Premier League. For me, the favorites for the Europa League has to be Napoli. Why Napoli? One, in the Champions League, they were fantastic. They actually went out not because they were the worst, but because with the new rule, they had a worse head-to-head than Liverpool. Liverpool should actually have been the ones that went to the Europa League, not Napoli, if they had tied that game. Because of the head-to-head, they actually dropped to the Europa League. So Napoli for me will be the contender and the favorite for the Europa League. Talking about this weekend, we start again with the FA Cup. Big game tomorrow for Manchester City. We have Newport away, a second division team that's 14th. The pitch is awful. I'm not sure what Pep is going to do on that day, but here's my formation for the day. I think he's going to play Muric in goal. He's going to play Danilo on at right back. Otamendi and the kid Garcia in defense as a center back partnership is going to probably play either Zinchenko or Delph as left back. He'll play Gundogan or Delph as holding. Foden, David Silva, Sane, Jesus, and Mahrez. I think that's going to be a starting 11. I think the team has to basically go for it and kill the game off as quickly as possible. Pep has to learn lessons from the last year Wigan performance, right, where we were basically counted by Wigan and they scored a goal and we went out of the competition. I think he really wants to get the FA Cup this year. I think he really wants it, and he's still on point for 4 titles this year. Other games that are happening this weekend, we have Doncaster versus Palace. We have Bristol City versus Wolves. Wolves are a good team. They should get through. Palace should get through. And then the big one, the very big one, on Monday is Chelsea versus Manchester United. Nobody knows how that's going to go. We hear that Martial and Lingard are out injured. We're going to see how that goes, because that is the game that's going to foreshadow the Liverpool game on the 24th in the Premier League. So interesting games this weekend. It's going to be great to watch them, and we'll certainly report on them next week. Talking about next week, on Monday, I'm going to be with my other friends on the Afrobeat Live Fan Zone show. It's on Monday. It's at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here in the US. It's going to be on Facebook Live. It's going to be on YouTube Live. And we're going to have four panelists, myself included. We're going to have Ty and two other guests from Chelsea and I believe from Manchester United on the show as well. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about Sarri Ball. We're going to talk about Man City, about Liverpool, about the Champions League. We're going to debate where Kante should play. We're going to talk about what needs to change with certain teams that are going to be relegated in the Premier League. We're going to talk about a whole lot of things at 7:30 p.m. on Monday, the 18th of February on Afrobeat Live Fan Zone. So that's it, folks, for now. Again, subscribe to my channel. I love doing this. Please provide comments, and I'll see you next time. Take care.